I'm Ben. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to YouTube. Well, my YouTube channel anyways. On the bench today, talk to the mic. On the bench today is my 67 Tele. And I decided to make a dedicated video. It's something I've covered in a few videos in the past, but you know, for searchable reasons, I thought I would do a dedicated video on how to string, not just Telecaster, but vintage tuners in particular. So we'll quickly get the strings off. This isn't going to be a super long video, obviously, because you know what? We're not going to show you 6 times how to do it. I'll show you it twice. Yeah. That way, if you miss something, you don't have to rewind the video. So I'm going to quickly pause the video here, get the strings off, because that's like 3 minutes of watching me take strings off. Be right back. Strings are loose. I'm still pulling them off. Oh, by the way, hi, I'm back. Why? What did you do? Did you tie yourself in a knot? You shouldn't have. There. File those. Excuse me for sniffles. It's that time of the year. All right. Yeah, clearly Ernie balls. This has matching string balls on the end. They're not color coded. What are we going to put on this for strings? Excuse me. Thinking Ernie ball 9s. Super slinkies? Super duper slinky? No, super slinkies. I think. I don't know. We'll look in a minute. There. Super. Oh, here the old man up walking around. So, a couple things to keep in mind. This particular flavor of Telecaster, the bridge is a 3 saddle. It's when they were just using the threaded rod. Yeah, it's not showing up with squat. There's the water pump. So these are vintage tuners. You can see how they have the slotted top. Okay. So, I don't know. Do we need to rearrange the camera to get a better angle to see this end? Because it doesn't matter this end. Alright. The camera could go right there. Well, tripod. Alright, let me just rearrange this. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Mike's up there. Hey, look at that. We are back and we got a good angle, I think, for this. That's left over. And we got a random Quentin James pick. Sure. Because why not, right? Alright, why don't you just throw that right in the garbage so you don't have empty ones like that one over here. Alright, what do we want? 42 first. Alright. What I'm going to do, actually, is do what I usually do. What's that, Ben? Slide all the strings through the string through first. And have a vape, apparently. Alright, that's better. And I realize, yeah, you're not seeing squat in this portion. So, that's okay. That's fine. So, I hope everyone's doing well. Excuse me. Yeah, again, I apologize for all the sniffles. But, you know, with the dry air, I don't know, what is it? With the dry air, you get more sniffles because your sinuses are compensating for the dry air, so they're just flooding the nasal cavity. I don't know. You know what? You're just looking at a headstock. Well, I just somewhat talk to myself. So why don't we pause this until we just get we'll get the strings in, and then we'll bring you back. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. Okay, we are back. So basically the only difference between stringing a vintage tuner and a standard tuner is, alright, so if you're Tom Morello, you actually have to cut your strings. So they're not la 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 la, you know, doing one of these, going hi. When you don't trim your strings, it reminds me of those fiber optic lamps from the 70s. Just saying. So, basically, if you're anybody else other than Tom Morello, the only difference in this procedure between stringing standard tuners, we'll call them, or modern tuners, and vintage tuners is you clip the strings before you install them, not after. So, alright. I learned this from Dave Riome of Dave's World of Fun Stuff, as he says, if it wants to live there. Alright? So we're going to measure 1 pass, 2 pass, 2.5. So 2 and a bit. Cut it. That's right, I have good side cutters this time. Alright. So then we take our predetermined cut of string, and you put, can you see that? Alright, what you're doing is, in that slot, there's a round spot in the middle of the slot. Make sure you're pulled all the way through the bridge. You're going to slide that right down inside. And you're going to bend it over. Go around once. And let's see what we get. 4 winds. That's 1.5. That's 2. Right about 2.5. Bring it up to pitch. Maybe 3. Sure. But that's there it is. So let's do it again. We got the A string. It's going to live right there. Don't poke yourself in the eye. So we go there. 1, 2, and a bit. You don't need all the strings at once, Ben. And I'm actually going to do a plain string after this too, because there's a little trick. Get there. Alright. Down. And around. So you could always put the first wind or so on just like that. Kind of like stringing up bass strings. Bass strings, you can do that quite often. And I'm sure it's not coming up on camera, but you know your nut is cut low when I'm seeing string marks all across behind the nut. Alright, so plain string. Slightly different. Well, you know what? Let's just do the D string really quick so we get it out of the way. 1, 2, and a bit. Then we'll get to a plain string and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright. You're gonna live in there? Sure. I know I have to do that every time. Alright, so plain string. Sometimes, apparently, in theory, or I don't know, legend has it that sometimes they pull out, string them that way. So we're going to go 1, 2, and a bit. Alright, so with these, what you do, go in the hole, down, and then when we curl it around, you want to go back through the slot again. So not all the way around, just a half wind, go back through the slot again, and then wind it up. And that just keeps some tension to hold it down in there. And that is how you string a vintage tuner. Excuse me, I'll do a plain string again. So we're going 1, 2, That's about 2. Bit more. And the reason you are pre-trimming is so you don't have, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 23 winds. I don't know. Goes in there. Around, back, through the slot. No, come on. You almost did it. Right there. Right, around, through the slot. There you go. See how easy peasy that is, folks? This way you don't have your little nubs sticking out. You like to catch on stuff. I don't know. Let's go through the string tree. It just looks clean. It's a very clean look, I think. So, hey, well, why not? We'll do one more. So, this is a fun 1, 2, 3, in a bit. Let's go about there. Is it bad enough? My eyes are bad enough I can barely see a 9-gauge string anymore. There. Oh, see? Popped out. That's why we do what we do. There, around, back around, through the slot. Through the slot. Through the slot. Bingo, bango, bing. String winder. Let's pretend it's a powered one. We switch gears. Battery's dying. Well, found new charge. There you go. So, doesn't that just sound perfect? That is how you change a vintage tuner. You can't see me. So, there we are. Dad's calling somebody on the phone now, so we'll just wrap up this video. So, I'm Ben. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was educational. How to string a vintage tuner. There we are. Be good to each other. Peace. Be well. Enjoy your holidays if you're celebrating. I don't know. Where's my remote? Lost the remote. Perfect. Remember, the holidays are about friends and family. That's the most important thing in life, folks. So, cheers. Rock on.